And hello fellow aviators, VREF Simmer here. Welcome to this Friday night. I guess it's now technically a Saturday morning flight. We're here in beautiful sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where today we're operating a Coastal Airways charter in the MD-88 from Fort Lauderdale up to Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the final game for Inter Miami this regular season in Major League Soccer. They did not qualify for the playoffs. They were last place when Lionel Messi and his buddies, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets, showed up. But it was too little, too late. They did not make the playoffs. So they get one last flight on Coastal Airways for this charter season. And I'm sure Sean has them all set up with all the bells and whistles for this flight, including a really nice meal. I know Lionel Messi had some very specific requests for his final meal here on Coastal this season, but yeah, super excited to have all of you aboard here today. Here's our beautiful MD-88 on the ramp at Shutdown. This has been our pickup drop-off point for Inter Miami all season long, and Shutdown has done a phenomenal job. We have everybody on board now. Just the air stairs down. Let's go ahead and hop on board, and we'll do a quick brief and get underway to Charlotte. Just a few quick hellos. Looks like we have a few people checking in now. Sean says chill vibes. Yes, that's what we go for here at Coastal Airways. Do things well. We do things the right way, but we have a good time doing it, and always it's a pretty chill environment here at Coastal Airways. So thanks for being on board, Sean. Gary Evans, hello to you as well. Swab Operations, Jason, hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Aviation Geek, glad to have you on board. Marco Girardi, hello, and Aviation Geek, hello to you as well. Well, let's go ahead and hop into the captain's seat. Like I said, we do have everyone on board now, and we are ready to get rolling on our flight this, I guess I can say morning now. So, but this is typically when I fly, when I'm doing Coastal Airways flights. So I love flying this time of night. The only downside is no ATC. But let's go ahead and do a quick brief of everything. We've got everything set up pretty much. I've got the APU running now because we're going to brief really quickly and get out of here. So first things first, let's go ahead and look at the weather. Get my mouse to center there. There we go. Let's take a look at the weather really quickly. So for those of you that use aviationweather.gov, they did just update the website this past week. And so it's quite a bit different than it was last time we flew. A week ago, so which is cool. So here's the new aviationweather.gov website. I think it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, like anything when there's a change, but overall it seems pretty nice. I do have our weather for both Fort Lauderdale and Charlotte up right now. So right now in Fort Lauderdale, beautiful weather. Winds out of the west, 7 knots. We're taking off more than likely on 28 left. 10 miles visibility, few 3,500, temperature 23, dew point 18, 2986 on the meters. Pretty similar in Charlotte, winds out of the west. We'll be landing 36 right, and VMC conditions, a little bit lower pressure, 29 or 66. We do have that set up in the pressurization, and our forecast is calling for visual meteorological conditions in Charlotte and also down here in Fort Lauderdale. No storms in the forecast either for Fort Lauderdale, so that's kind of a rare thing. All right, so here I used to go to the standard weather briefing quite a bit, and now if you just click on the products tab here, you can pretty much get all of those products that we typically use. So Sigmets is first. There's nothing between us and Charlotte this evening. Quite a few air mitts as we get up into the Carolinas. You can see once we get into South Carolina, moderate turbulence between 15 and 36,000, and also some air mitts in southern North Carolina, especially in the Charlotte area. Low turbulence, so moderate turbulence from 15,000 feet to the surface. So it might be a little bit bumpy on our way into the airport, which makes sense because it did show gusty winds. So we'll probably have the seatbelt sign on for that last half of the flight once we're getting north of Savannah, Georgia. All right, let's check out the next little bit here. Prognostic charts. Let's see the prog charts. You can see there's just a stationary front, southern Georgia, and it turns into a cold front as you head out into the Atlantic. Very cool TAF map. Guessing this is pretty similar to the surface weather stuff we used to look. Yeah, look at that. You can just kind of like, that's pretty cool. You can just move through the different hour ranges and kind of see what it's forecasting the surface conditions to be. So VMC, like we said, the entire time on our flight, which is cool. And we'll just look at some of the current. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. See if they have a PIRAP map still. I don't know if they do. I think if you go back to the main page, they have this current conditions map has a lot of stuff. So this interactive map. Yeah, here we go. Looks like this interactive map has pretty much everything. But I don't see any PIRAPs, which I don't think there are a lot of PIRAPs out right now because it's 2 in the morning on the east coast of the United States. So probably not a lot of people flying. So that makes sense. All right, I'm going to take that off the screen. So that's our weather. As you can see, it's really nice. No takeoff alternates today, no special airport information. MEL items, we do not have anything deferred on this aircraft, and we're not showing anything in the aircraft log here either. So that is good. Marco Dry, you were saying, how was your flight, Jason? I'll watch it later today. I can let Jason speak to that, but I will say I watched it off and on, especially the last half of the flight. It was a beautiful approach into Boeing Field. He had an excellent landing. So yeah, definitely recommend you all checking that out on the Flight Sim Broadcast Network. Really pretty approach into Seattle. All right, NOTAM wise, we'll go ahead and pull up our Navigraph charts here. Nothing that really should affect us tonight. I went through them earlier just so we didn't waste time going through each of the details in here, but nothing that should affect us tonight on VATSIM. No ATC online at the moment, so we'll be on common traffic advisory frequency. Our taxi route out of here, we're parked here at Shelter in Fort Lauderdale in the southwest corner of the field, and we're going to plan on taxi out to 28 left, so that's going to be a right turn Lima, actually a right turn on Golf, right turn Quebec, left Juliet 12, and out on 28 left. 8,000 feet of runway available, plenty of runway, it's dry. Standard abort criteria, so below 80 knots we'll reject the takeoff for a variety of reasons. At or above 80 knots, we're only going to plan to reject the takeoff engine fire, severe engine damage, or the inability of the aircraft to get or stay airborne. If we do lose an engine after V1, we'll go straight ahead to 3,000 feet, come back around to land here. Probably land on 28 right since we have about 1,000 more feet of runway. We'll work out the problem. If we need a whole lot of runway, we'll head down to Miami International where we can get a little bit more. For our clearance, like I said, it is it's uncontrolled tonight, or there's no ATC on, I guess that's what I should technically say. So we're squawking 2200. I do have our cruise altitude of flight level 360 set, no restrictions on the departure, and we'll go nav mode at 400 feet, VNAV at flap retraction of 1,000 feet, and here in the CDU, let's see, we're flying the Agers 1 RNAV departure off of 28 left, so climb initially on a heading of 276, which is set, and intercept course 300 to Dreads, then on depicted route to Agers. So we have Dreads, then we have Shells, Agers, Hertz, ARPS. Let's make sure we have ARPS in here. Yep. Mart, Enwood. So I had it there. Mart, Enwood, CZ, Doosan, and now we're flipping over to the SimBrief OFP, which thankfully in the Navigraph charts plugin you can look at that now, which is really cool. So next up is Oven P, then Femon, Viap, Checker, Chevy, Corvette, Flag, We have our top of descent on the Stalker 3. Let's see where we are here. Yep. Corvette, flag, finish, stock car. And then it looks like it had us on fiber. Yeah, that's what it's showing for the 3-6 left. Which we're probably going to be doing 3-6 right when we go in there. Oh yeah, 3-6 right transitions. Yep, so that is what we're going to be doing. Stock car timer, or stock car fiber, timer, Terry, gate, vectors, and we'll get the approach in as we get closer. Total distance of 597 miles, so a little bit shorter flight tonight. And we're showing on the release the total distance 598 miles, so that looks like everything's programmed really well, and it matches up, and it's been verified now. And transition altitude, like we said, is going to be flight level 180, and also for our climb gradient out of here, we just need to maintain at least 2,000 feet per minute on the way out. No problem for us today. With 2 engines. So that's all I have. If y'all have any questions, feel free to speak up in the chat. You're a part of the crew, and I will be monitoring the chat throughout the flight. So if anything doesn't look right, or you just have a question, don't hesitate to speak up. And certainly I'm glad to have each of you on board. All right, let's go ahead and get everything ready to go here. Let's get the doors closed on the aircraft. I think we already got the air stairs retracted in the back. I just had the stairs and the main door open, so we'll make sure those are getting closed. There go the stairs. You can see where they fold up into the fuselage there. That's pretty cool. And I'll go ahead and get our beacon on. Flight deck door off. Let's get the air supply off because we're going to start the engines. And we're actually going to be on System A today. We were using System B on the last flight from Newark back down here to Fort Lauderdale the other night in this aircraft. Alright, let's do the before start check. 0 fuel weight is set. Takeoff condition computer set. Stabilizer trim set. Actually, let me double check that. It looks like it's off just a smidge. There, that's set. Flap takeoff selector is set. We're going to plan flaps 12.5 today. And I don't think I said the speeds, but the V speeds are 124, 130, 139 for V2. V2 is set. Airspeed bags and TRP set. Fuel pumps, we have 18,250 on board, and we need 17,200 for takeoff. So fuel is 18,250. Pumps, get those on. It's forward pump here, that's good. Nothing in the center tank tonight. Doors closed, and hydraulics on and high. Before start check completes. Alright, we're going to start up the engines. Here we go. Starting 2, then 1. Alright, get the clock started. Alright, there goes our N2. N2. Oil pressure. Alright, just waiting on that max motoring of 20% N2. And there it is. Nice messing with my takeoff cards there. And EGT. And fuel flow and EGT. Alright, 40%. We'll get the starter off. That's our starter cut out into. See, there's 40%. So starter cut out. And just wait on the engine to stabilize here. Alright, cool. EGT's dropping into stabilize. Alright, starting 1. There we go. And something that took me a second to figure out when I first got the Mad Dog is use the mouse wheel to have the start switch or something like that stay in the down position, or even the start levers, the fuel levers here to roll the mouse wheel to get them to move into off or on. Alright, so there's our max motoring at 20%. And we have fuel flow and EGT. But yeah, that mouse wheel is a key thing here when you're flying the Mad Dog. They've integrated it into a lot of the controls, so. Definitely recommend this plane though. Here's our 40%, our starter cutout. Let's get that off. And looks like EGT stabilized. Everything's stabilized. Let's go through our after start flows really quickly. And the generators both look good. We'll do our quick check here. CPU off. Don't need that anymore. And get our air supplies on. Check the flight controls really quickly. Alright, there we go. And rudders. MD-88 just subscribed. Thank you so much for your subscription. Glad to have you on board as an official part of the crew. MD-88, welcome on board. Thank you. Alright, let's keep going through here. We're going to go ahead and set flaps to 12.5, please. Let's see, that should be to 5. And I think we got to do... There it goes. .5. There we go. Perfect. It's a little tricky sometimes to set the flaps. Some of these flap settings, because you don't actually get to touch the flap lever down there. So like, wait, what setting am I at? All right, here we go. Before taxi check, air conditioning panel is set. Pitot heat and ignition. On ignition's off right now. I'll get it on before takeoff. There's a 10-minute limitation on that, so just in case I don't want to exceed that. Anti-ice standard engine instruments checked. Flight controls free. Flaps and slats are 12.5 TO set. Transponder, let's get that on now. And Coast will go ahead and put in TAR right here in the sim. That's set. Pneumatic crossfeed is closed. For taxi check complete, we're clear right, clear left, and I'm gonna hop on the. Let's see what message we have there. Not parking brakes on. Perfect. Those are ones we're expecting. Alright, so taxi light is on. And I'm going to turn on the track IR now so that it helps with the taxiing. And here we go. Right, clear left. We're not going to turn into the building though, for sure. Alright, here we go. Make sure our tiller's working. Oh yeah. This random, there's our ramper with the GPU just hanging out there in the middle of the ramp. At Fort Lauderdale International traffic, Riptide 5801, MD-88, taxiing runway 28 left from Shelter via Golf, Quebec, Juliet 12, Fort Lauderdale. Alright. I love these static biz jets they have over here at Shelter in this Fort Lauderdale scenery. This is a nice scenery. The only kind of crazy thing, so we're taking off on runway 28 left, which is, you can see the elevation change on that runway. It's kind of crazy. I actually haven't taken off on this runway in some time, so this will be interesting. I don't think I've ever taken off on it heading west. So, kind of look forward to that for sure. Alright, there's our Lima. Actually, we're supposed to go off, yeah. I'll take Lima, and then I'll take a hotel here. And we'll get over there. Hotel and come back. There's nobody on tonight. Nobody on. It's very late, or early, I guess you could say, in Fort Lauderdale right now. And it wouldn't be Fort Lauderdale International if you didn't have some JetBlue aircraft sticking around, you know? I'm actually gonna hop on over right here. We're back where we wanted to be here. I'll come back, and then we'll take a left onto Juliet. Alrighty. And look at that elevation change. So it's kind of crazy. I'm gonna try out this runway for takeoff. Hopefully I don't wreck the thing. We have to climb up a mountain, basically. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have taken 28 right. Alright, let's see if we can get up this mountain. Stay on the right side. Looks like it's really bumpy over to the left over there. So I think this might be the only thing maybe they could work on. in the scenery is just smoothing that out, because obviously I doubt the taxiway has some massive potholes like that over on the left side. There's no way the FAA would pass that off. Awesome. Alrighty, well, it looks like it's gonna be uphill most of the way for us here. I've actually, like I said, I've never gotten to taxi down to this runway before, so there's a few billboards there. Yeah, the Fort Lauderdale ramp, that's right, Jason. Yeah, right off our left side there. And it's a beautiful scenery. You can see this is a tricky runway to taxi to with the crazy terrain. And look at, I don't know how far above the ramp level this is. Looks like a good 30, 40 feet above it. Look at this. Big retaining wall off to the left. So, I've actually never been to the Fort Lauderdale airport, so, but I've heard that it's like this. Jason says, I guess you're responding to Marco about the flight. It was long, yeah. Yeah, I actually like took a nap for a little while, Jason. At one point when you're in cruise, my daughter was watching the wonderful show Blippi, and Blippi has my defense mechanism with Blippi is I just fall asleep. So that's how I fuel up for these late night flights. Take a power nap. I woke up and you were still flying. I'm like, oh, awesome. So you did a great job. You did a great job. Okay, Jason, you said it's 50 feet down there. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. That's pretty crazy, actually. All right, let's go ahead and test our. Yep, sounds like everything is set up. So before takeoff, takeoff. Config check ignition selector is B. Altimeter set, and ABS and spoilers are set. Or arms. Before takeoff, check complete. Clear lefts, clear rights. Fort Lauderdale International traffic, Riptide 5801, taking off runway 28 left, departing to the north. Fort Lauderdale. Alright, let's get the lights on too. While we're pulling on. See if I can get these on. 28 left is on the pavement now. Saw it on the sign also when we were entering. Alright, we got everything set. Let's roll. Here we go. 28 left verified. We're out of here. And set thrust. And correct in the center line. Clamp. 80 knots. Check. And we're about to do a massive descent of 50 feet or so. This could get interesting. V1. Let's see what we'll rotate off the ground before we hit that big dip. Look at this. Let's go. Nope. I was gonna say we might actually like register a landing. You didn't do it quite right. Positive rate. Gear up. Alright, excellent. We're definitely up now. Nav mode. Climb thrust. VNav. And we're going to pitch down to 10 degrees to begin our acceleration. I'm going to take this yoke off so I get a better view of the nav display. Alrighty. Let's go, flaps 5. Keyboard over here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the flaps 5 again. There we go. I think I went to flaps 11 on that first hit. Here's flaps up. Perfect. Alright, continuing our right turn. We're definitely clear to the right. See lots of golf courses down here in South Florida. It's an excellent place for golfing if you're into that sort of thing. And our clean maneuvering speed is 224 knots. So we're a little lighter tonight, which is great. I'm sure yours was way up there, Jason, flying all the way from White Plains to Seattle. But so at 224 knots, we'll go ahead and retract our leading edge devices. Put all that in. And I am going to turn off the track IR now because it's not needed now that we've taken off. Perfect. I'm still trying to tweak my settings to smooth things out a little bit too. Got a little stuttery there on the climb out, but keep working on that. Okay, there we are at our clean maneuvering speed, so we'll go ahead and get flaps all the way up. Increase our bank angle limit to 30 now that we're above maneuvering speed. And autopilot on. There we go. And let's run through our, looks like everything's stable on track here. Make sure the autopilot's doing what I think I've told it to do. You always got to verify. Alright, good. Let's go. Oops, did not want to do that. Go through our after takeoff check. Mouse wheel is going crazy there. It's like clicking everything in the flight deck. These hydraulic pumps off. I guess Cliff probably handles a lot of this for you, Jason, when you're flying the Mad Dog. Okay, I'll go through our after takeoff stuff. That's all good. Yep. All right, cool. We'll do the climb check when we get through 10,000 feet. So here we go. We are off. And a pretty short flight today, honestly. So a little bit of the plan for cruise flight. I think what we'll do a brief above 10,000 feet. I'm gonna hop on the chat. So if anyone at Coastal does want to hop in and just chat some or debrief the Seattle flight, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm planning to talk about Major League Soccer. Today is decision day in Major League Soccer, so big day. Obviously, Miami is out of the mix, but they do have some big plans coming up, so I'll talk about that. And we are officially over 10,000 feet. So I'll give them the bells. So we just got to keep our eyes out for flight level 180. Jason says yes, he is a switch flipper. Old Cliff, yeah, he'll flip those switches even when you don't want him to, so that is for sure. Alright, I'm going to hop onto the Discord really quickly. Anybody wants to hop in there, you're more than welcome to, at least the Coastal guys. One of these days I'll probably set up a voice channel in the VRF Simmer for any of the other subscribers that want to chat for a bit. But obviously you got to keep it, you got to just use what's available at this moment. Let's take a quick view of the exterior of the aircraft and see, we're having a nice climb out over South Florida. Definitely getting good performance once we're away from the airport, so it's just in that initial climb out, it's getting a little stuttery. I think there's a racetrack of some sort down there, and that's where all the gators and those pythons and other critters are living, right down there. Alright, I'll hop back in the flight deck here. Let's pull up our release over here on the EFB also, and be able to check on our fuel burn. It's always important. Main thing you're looking out for is, I mean, you could have a fuel leak, and that does happen, and I believe the Mad Dog will simulate that. Marco Gerardi, VREF, I think the link to your Discord is still not working, at least for me. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Let me check that out. Yeah, if it's the link that's in the video description, that's honestly probably from at least over a year ago, so I probably need to update that. So thank you for letting me know. I think you did say something the other night too. I just I went to bed right away when we finished that. It was so late. So thank you, Mark. I'll try to get that fixed. You can also check out my Instagram page, VRF Simmer. That's honestly, pretty soon I'm going to World Flight. So I'm part of a World Flight team, Team SoCal, and so we're going to be flying for an entire week around the world along with teams from all over the world. You can also fly along on VATSIM. There will be full coverage on each of the routes. If you just type in VATSIM World Flight in any search engine, it'll show you the routes. It's a fun way to get to fly to places in the world you probably typically wouldn't have full ATC coverage, and also hundreds, maybe even thousands of aircraft flying that same route at the same time. But our team will be raising money for Orbis Flying Eye Hospital, which is basically a DC-10 that's been converted to a hospital on the inside. So they'll fly to places that don't have good eye care in certain parts of the world, and they will perform procedures that allow people to be able to see, whereas they would probably go pretty much blind otherwise. So you think of things like cataracts and other surgeries like that we maybe take for granted here in the United States, and maybe aren't as easily accessible in other parts of the world. So that's what our team's going to be raising money for. I'll have details on it on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel, VRF Simmer, and certainly at the very least I'd love to have your support, just cheering us on. I'll be flying a lot in the middle of the night like this, so the encouragement will be appreciated. And if you do feel led to donate anything monetarily, that'll be appreciated also. There'll be details on that during that week, but it's all volunteer, and our team's not the only team flying. There are also going to be other teams raising money for other charities. So yeah, check them out. It's all for a good cause, and I've seen things, from the back end and stuff, and it's well run, and it is just volunteers raising money for charities. So very cool. DC Shermy McD, DC-10, do you mean the Death Chamber 10? Well, I mean, obviously that DC-10 is a good one. It's allowing people to be able to see, but I have zero experience flying a DC-10. I can tell you that. I've never even flown one in a SM. So I don't believe I actually verbalized the climb check, but I guess we should do that just for the CVR's sake, right? So ignition is off, APU's off, fuel pumps are set, spoilers and ABS disarm off, flap slats are up, lights off. So climb check complete. The only other thing I need to do that I forgot to do, you gotta make sure you get this little dial-a-flap window back to stow. There we go. There are all sorts of weird little things that are kind of hidden in the Mad Dog cockpit. And you'll think about them like a few minutes later, like, oh, I need to do that. Oh, that's not good. Let's stop. Just had a cabin altitude warning. Let's see what's going on here. We do have our pressurization on. Cabin altitude is high. Okay, what is going on with that? I'm gonna level off. Altitude hold. That's not good. So we have a cabin altitude warning. And is it still climbing? Yep, we're going down. to the 10,000 feet. Not gonna mess around with that. All right, there's 10,000 set. Here we go. And we're just gonna maintain our current speed just in case there's a, oxygen master Don set to 100%. Just in case there's a structural problem, just maintain your current speed. And we'll pull up the checklists. Squawk 7700. You can't do that on VATSIM, but obviously Cliff. I don't have Cliff, but he would be he'd be talking to ATC. I'd say, you have the radios. I'm going through the checklist here. All right, so we had a cabin altitude warning. Hold up. They should have that on here. Surely they have that. Cabin altitude warning. There we go. Rapid decompression. Rapid decompression may be detected by sudden explosion. Condensation of moisture in air, high noise, dust debris flying around, rapid increase of cabin altitude. That's what we have. A decrease of cabin differential pressure. Cabin's still climbing because obviously we haven't gotten out of 10,000 yet. What was our altimeter in this area? Was 2986. Let's get that set really quickly. Yeah, so we have this is the first time I've seen this happen. Never had this happen in a sim before. I'm just gonna go ahead and do some of the checks we do. Get the nose lights on. When cabin altitude reaches approximately 10,000 feet, that's what happened. The warning horn will sound, followed by the vocal warning. Cabin altitude, and the cabin out and master warning lights will come on. Oxygen mask on, 100%. Yep, which we would have done. Obviously, we can't really simulate that in this. Like X-Plane, you can click it and it'll come on, but we'll assume we have our oxygen masks on. Crew communications are established. Cabin air outflow valve manually closed and locked. You know what? I bet you that's what happened right there. I wonder if that's what happened. Alright, we're getting down to 10,000 feet now. Whoa, man, it's going crazy. I'm gonna get the flight spoilers back in now. Main thing you gotta do, get down to 10,000 feet so that the get down to 10,000 feet so that the passengers can get their oxygen and the crew. I'm gonna make sure this aircraft levels off like it's supposed to at 10,000. Alright. Alright, so pneumatic cross-feed levers are, they are closed. Let's go over here to the, I gotta make sure I can see this. Making sure we're gonna close this. There we go. It is all closed now. Something weird is going on there. I wonder what happened to her. Is this Jason? Are you on? Heard somebody hop in the channel. Air conditioning systems checked for normal operation. Let's check that really quickly. And we have normal PSI, we have normal supply. Sean, if you have to divert, go to Orlando, you can swap out the aircraft there if you need. Okay, thank you, Sean. Let me know. I am going to slow us down though. There's no point in going super fast right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. It could be simulating a failure. It could have been when that mouse wheel was doing crazy stuff. It flipped something down there. So sounds like Jason's getting on. Hold up. Let's see. Jason, how's it going?
Good. Do you have an issue with your airplane right now?
Yeah, we had a rapid decompression. So I'm down at 10,000 running the checklist right now. Looks like the
I just
cabin
saw it.
altitude's holding. Well, I had to manually close the outflow
Outflow.
valve, so we'll probably be diverting to
Daytona
across
Beach.
probably Orlando. We're down at 10,000 now. Thankfully, we're not in the west like you were. Yours would have been a little more exciting.
So let me ask you, like, even with the valve closed, is it holding?
It is now, yes. So that's what I'm checking. So we're not diverting yet. We're still on course. I just slowed us to 250. We're at 10,000 feet. So
Yeah, smart. Okay.
because I do know my mouse wheel was flipping, like it clicked something down here earlier. So I was like, maybe it messed up something with the pressurization. So
Going on takeoff?
no, on the after takeoff flow, I heard something click, but I thought it was just this trim right here, the alternate trim. I don't remember the pressurization clicking.
Let me see your. Let me go to your stream.
But
I want to pause for a minute and take.
Yeah,
can you take a look at the pedestal panel?
Yeah, I was gonna say it is decreasing cabin pressure now, which is good. Okay. But see, it was all the way up at. It was over. I got the cabin altitude warning when it got above 10,000. So that's when we were climbing through probably the upper 20s. Yeah. So I immediately leveled off and started the descent to 10 because you don't mess around with that.
No, you don't. Yeah, let me see your pedestal really quick. I'm gonna take a peek. I've got to somehow mute this. How do you mute this stupid thing?
Let's see. Sean says he fell asleep, woke up and heard rapid decompression. I mean, if it happens in real life, you're not going to miss it. Your ears are going to be killing you.
No,
so.
Yeah, you'll know about it. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, sounds good.
Hang on.
But
can you just like put the camera at a different angle?
Put the camera at a different angle?
Yeah, so I can see your outflow. I can see your valve.
You're wanting
just kind of like rotate it just a little bit.
Oh, rotate it? Yeah, here.
I mean the lever. Where's that?
Hold up here. You want to see that?
So it's in auto mode, isn't it?
Now it is. I had to manually close it per the checklist.
Yeah.
So it was in auto before, and then I moved it to manual to full close because that's what the checklist called for. And
let me see if you got. And
then
you might not have to divert it. It's going to hold cabin altitude.
And it is under control now. So.
Yeah, it was. You might be.
I don't know what was. See, it's descending now. Thankfully, I don't know why it initially lost pressure. So.
That's weird, huh? Just go to the overhead panel. Let me see what your temperature is. Your cabin pressure, I mean.
Yeah, it's all good. It's good. But before, yeah, it was not, the cabin was not descending at all. It was climbing, with the aircraft. But it was holding for a long time, obviously, because it didn't, we were at 28,000 and then it got above 10. So, I have to go back and look at the stream. Galopi, thank you so much for following me. Thanks for the great encouragement. How much longer? That remains to be seen, Galopi, because we're having an issue with pressurization. I think, honestly, since we don't know what happened, I'd divert. to Orlando probably. Or we could go back to Fort Lauderdale if we needed to. But so passenger oxygen masks if required. They are not required. I wonder if it dropped them. Let's see. Nope, it didn't. That's good. I'll save our mechanics some time. We'll just assume they did not drop. Right? I visually checked, Jason. And cabin pressure, it's holding normally now. All right. Under control, cabin outflow air valve as required. I put it back into oh no, I gotta Jack Center's online. What? Jeez, it's probably Howard. It's probably Howard. 135925. Okay. Jason, you on board? I didn't see him.
Yeah, I'm on board, bud.
Yeah, so I'll just assume you're kind of my dispatcher. If that's alright. I mean, I'm kind of leaning toward diverting to Orlando right now since we have another aircraft there. And that's what Sean was saying. If we get it fixed, great. We can take this airplane up to Charlotte later. If not, then we have another airplane to put the guys on.
Well, why don't you try climbing up to a different altitude and see how the cabin altitude does?
All right.
Test it. I mean, it's closed, right? I mean, you've got it closed now. You just have to manually do it.
Yeah, if maintenance is cool with it, we'll try it. I'll just assume you're the company. I called you, and we're all good. Because we've completed
Are you done with the QRH?
Yes, because it was saying the cabin is under control now. Galupi, your mom kicked you off. Okay, bye-bye. Good luck to you too. Thanks. Yeah, it's in... sorry. Oh, man. Let me get this. I gotta call Howard here. He's gonna be...
I'll be standing by here. So what does your QRH say though on this? If it's under control, just do it manually?
It says cabin outflow air valve as required.
Yeah, just climb up to altitude and see what happens.
Yeah, so.
But I would definitely take it out of auto though.
All right, let's go. We call Howard up. 35925. Jack Center, Riptide 5801. We're at 10,000, climbing back up to flight 360. We had a pressurization issue, but I think we got it resolved.
Riptide 5801, Jack Center, Roger, squawk 3001.
3001, Riptide 5801. Alright, 3001 then. Well, we'll see what happens here. Keep an eye on it.
Riptide 5801, radar contact 36 miles southeast of the Orlando VOR, climb maintain level 360.
Climb maintain flight level 360, Riptide 5801. It's doing like a full decrease. Let me see if it's working fine now. That's where it should be. That's kind of the auto mode there. It's just saying outflow cabin air outflow valve as required now. So, because the cabin was under control once we got down to 10,000 and followed the checklist. And now it's just decreasing at a normal rate, about 300 feet per minute. But for some reason it went out of control. I do not know why. Maybe we just have a faulty controller. It's just a. It's looking good, Jason, so far. I think the only concern now is we just need to double check the fuel numbers. It's 5,000 is our reserve, so don't want to land with less than 5,000. Right now we're still get to Charlotte with 8,000 pounds of fuel, which is good. So, and I'll do a fuel check when we get to.
782, question 10 minutes away. I'll be back by the 90 waypoint.
Well, let's see, Sean. That's a good question.
That's approved. Report back.
We'll see if the tablet shows the mask says deployed. That's the thing. I tried to get down fast enough. Like, if possible. I mean, if you can get down before the masks deploy, it's awesome, you know. But definitely don't want to keep cruising around up at high altitude with an altitude warning going off. That's just an immediate action. So where would it show the masks deployed in here? Would it aircraft services, right? Maintenance? No, I don't know. Sean, if you have any ideas.
Go on the aft overhead panel, bud.
So.
Did you hear that?
Did I hear what? Oh, go on the. Yeah, I did hear.
Go to the aft overhead panel.
All right. All right. Let's check that.
What's your cabin? What's your oxygen showing right now? That's your cockpit oxygen.
Yeah, oxygen's good. It's in the green.
You got no enunciator light on?
Nope. Just the.
And I don't know if this is a 737. Yeah, it's different than the 73. I don't think there's an enunciator.
Cabin oxygen on is enunciated. So it deployed the masks, didn't it?
Yeah.
It just doesn't show the. It just doesn't show the graphics back here. So. All right. Well, there we go. They're professional athletes. They can handle it. The masks being down. They just want to go play their final game of the season and move on to China. I was going to talk about that a little bit with just MLS announcements. We do not.
If you deployed the masks, you're done.
I was wondering if it would be in the tech log.
No, check the tech log.
Yeah, it's not showing anything right now. I guess maybe you could. I mean, obviously we're going to have to get a mechanic to put them back in.
Yeah, I mean, the masks are deployed, right? From the overhead, it says oxygen with a little light on.
Yeah, it's showing that now. Cabin out, decompression.
Dead in the water.
Alrighty. Well, we gotta level off here.
I mean, so technically, just.
I mean, you could
technically, it's one of those. Yeah, technically speaking, if you deployed your masks, you're done. You gotta land at the most suitable airport.
Because they're not available if another decompression occurs.
That's right. It's illegal. So you're done. So, or you can simulate if it's holding pressure. You can simulate it didn't come down.
That's what I was confused about until I did see the green enunciator. They were like, "Oh, dang it."
That's up to you. What you want to do.
Yeah, we'll. Yeah, we gotta divert.
Oh boy. Okay. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean,
It happens. I mean, do it right. You know, if it's
yeah.
deployed, you gotta get her down.
We have an 83
All
and
right, but I'm gonna
MCO.
watch your
Yeah, well,
screen.
let's head over to MCO then. I'll go ahead and request it. Jack Center, Riptide 5801.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jack Center, Riptide 5801. We're going to need to divert to Orlando International.
Riptide 5801, roger. Is it the pressurization issue coming back?
Affirmative.
Riptide 5801, roger. Clear to the Orlando airport via radar vectors. Flight present heading, descend and maintain 10,000. The Orlando altimeter 2985.
Alright, flight present heading, descend 10,285, Riptide 5801. Alright, we'll do present heading.
Riptide 5801, are you declaring an emergency at this time?
Affirmative, Riptide 5801.
Roger, Riptide 5801.
It's a free thing you can always do, so. Just declare an emergency.
Riptide 5801, when able, could you provide your souls on board and fuel remaining in time?
So we have 62, 64 souls on board. Yeah. So our fuel flows, there we are. And Jackson, Riptide 5801, we have 64 souls on board and 2 hours fuel remaining.
Riptide 5801, roger.
Alright, we're going down to 10,000 now, present heading, so we need to go ahead and start setting up for our landing. Obviously, the good thing about a charter like this is our weight is pretty low, so we're already below the max landing weight, so no trouble there. So, our route is now changing. We are going to MCO, so I'm going to just get that set up in here. Oh no. This obviously was not planned. So, I'm just going to go ahead and execute that for now. See in there. Let's go ahead and get our... We'll deal with the maintenance stuff on the ground. Performance, we're going to be landing now at Orlando. Yeah, I got to get the weather in Orlando, so let's do that really quickly. I think we can get it actually on the Navigraph charts here. Let's see if this will let us punch in Orlando.
Riptide 5801, turn left heading 250.
Left heading 250, Riptide 5801. Alright, 250, set. MCO. I might just need to focus on flying using my tablet. Sometimes this thing here is...
1436, heavy display view, flight level 360, 40 miles to the north of Columbia. Jan 1436, Jack Center, radar contact, recycle transponder, squawk 6554.
Alright, so right now the winds, or the weather at Orlando, winds are 230 at 710 miles, view at 3800, 20, 18, and 2985 on the meters. So land into the, that's what the ATIS is showing here on VATSIM. Yeah, Bravo.
Bellow 368, request away for 5 minutes. Bellow 360.
Loser approach 18 right, 17 left. We'll want to do 18 right. So go ahead and get this set up. Just plan the ILS 18 right. I'd have my first officer go ahead and make an announcement, talk to the flight attendants, call the dispatcher, which we've already pretty much done through our discussions with Jason.
You can expect the visual approach runway 18 right at Orlando. Formation Bravo's current 12307, altimeter 2985.
2985, we have Bravo, Riptide 5801. Alright, let's go.
5801, turn left heading 185, descend and maintain 3000.
Left 185, descend 3000, Riptide 5801. Alright, so heading 185. Now we need to descend now to 3000. 3000 is set. And let's get on. Let's see. 111.9, we need to get that set up. Honestly, altitude is your friend when you're flying a large airplane, so no. We've already declared emergency, so we get a little bit extra priority handling, a little bit more leeway with what we do. So we're just gonna let this keep descending on. I'm gonna set the speed back though to 240 here. Get a little more leeway with what we do here. So let's get everything set up, and then we'll do our checklist for diverting into Orlando. Also, we don't need to rush over there. 185, 185, 111.9 is set both sides. We're just going to be the visual backed up with the ILS. I'm just going to set up like we normally do. Alrighty. 294. And let's get our speeds all set here. So it's going to be 18 right, MSCO. Winds are, look up here, winds are 236 at 7. And altimeter is 2985. Temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. Auto brake will be medium, and landing weights. Let's look at that really quickly. MCO, yeah, we need to fix the route here. Just need to go direct. Let's go ahead and get the approach in here. LS 18 right. Let's just plan on hole up. And that'll give us more accurate.
Left heading 090.
Left 090, Riptide 5801. Left 090. There's 090 set. Yeah, this buys us time. So now we should be able to get a proper, so 12.3 is our landing fuel. See how that changed about 5,000 pounds. That's why it's important to get that FMC set up. So we'll just add our zero fuel weight of 101.9 to 12.3, and that's going to give us a total landing weight of 114.2, so well below our max landing weight, so we're good in that regard. So I'll go ahead and, wow. Hold up, 114.2.
Riptide 5801, fly heading 150, and it's up the 18 right localizer.
Heading 150, and could we have about 5 more minutes of vectors? Riptide 5801.
Yeah, Riptide 5801. Fly heading, you can continue on 090. I was going to bring you to the localizer, but you're looking good on altitude. But yeah, if you need more time, fly heading 090, just when you're ready to go back in.
Heading 090 will let you know when we're ready. Riptide 5801. So that's another thing. When you're working through stuff, don't ever let yourself get rushed. Just go ahead and buy some time.
Riptide 5801, maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, Riptide 5801. Alright, so we're going to... if I get this to... It's getting choppy on me now. 4,000. There we go.
United 782 back in the flight deck.
United 782, welcome back.
Alright, we got our... So, 218... Actually, I want to do flaps 40, not flaps 28. So, 130. So 135 is going to be our the approach. So there we go. Yeah, don't ever let yourself get rushed. You can always control time. Don't get low too early. That's another big key.
Bell 360, roger.
Get this. All right, so we have our landing data set. We're looking at Orlando International 21-3, 21st July 23, ILS 18 right. And this is the wing landing lights. Localizer 111.9 is set, both sides 185 course inbound. Visual backed up with the ILS, so we'll be about 2,200 feet at Tuffy. That's going to be our tipped altitude there. DA 294 set 200. Touchdown's elevation is now 96 feet. Let's make sure we got that set up here, the pressurization. So it's changed quite a bit, so we got to bring that down. So there's a lot of stuff you can miss if you let yourself get super rushed. We're now 2985.
Turn right heading 270.
Right, 270, Riptide 5801. Alright, right to 270. There we go. So that's all set now. MSA is 3,000 under Orlando VOR. Missed approach, it's a visual, so it'll probably be right traffic back around at 1,600 feet. All the tower's instructions. Pappy on the left, Mauser lighting. If we get to land, it's going to be a right-hand turn off, and we'll just roll it down to Echo and into Signature on the south ramp where we park. Deal with maintenance on the ground. I think we're all caught up on QRHs. Let's go ahead and do our descent check. All sorts of stuff you could forget if you get rushed. Alright, engine sync is off. Pressurization is set and checked. Hydraulics on high. Altimeters set. Landing data, airspeed bugs set. Descent check complete. Alright, now we're ready to go in. And Jack Center, Riptide 5801, we're ready for the approach and landing at Orlando.
Riptide 5801, roger. Riptide 5801, the airport's 11 o'clock and 18 miles, just advise when you have insight.
Wilco, Riptide 5801. Alright, let's see if we can see it yet. Can't quite make it out yet. I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing us down though. Let's go on down to 180 so we have a little more flaps here. So we gotta lose quite a bit of altitude here in a short amount of time. Alright. Still, I think it's out there. Yep, I had insight. And Jack Center, Riptide 5801 has Orlando International in sight.
Riptide 5801, clear visual approach, runway 18 right.
Clear visual approach 18 right, Riptide 5801. Alright, so we're going to head it on down to 2,200 feet now. Let's go ahead and do that. feet per minute. And we'll go ahead and get flaps 15. Gear down since we're on left base. Alright, let's see, Jason says 70 oxygen generators are on their way. It will take a few hours to replace, and there is the inspection that will be required. Swap jets. Alright, thanks Jason. So we will be swapping jets. Obviously, Sean, we don't have to do that tonight. We can do it. I'd probably fly Sunday night, honestly, if you want to be honest. So we'll talk about it when I get on the grounds.
Line departing Orlando, information Charlie, stop current wind 2306, altimeter 2985.
Alright, 5. We'll get that set. Alright. 2985 is set. And we're coming in, we'll go ahead and arm view our look. Let's get the nav. Yeah, I'll hop on the company channel once we get on the ground. If you guys are still here, we can come up with a plan. Alright, I'm gonna slow us on back to 160 now. I'm also gonna get our right, flaps 28.
Tide 5801, wind 2307, runway 18 right, clear to land.
Clear land runway 18 right, riptide 5801.
Bell 360 at Washington's closed, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, good night.
It's like the autopilot sending us a little too low there. I'll bring us back up to get to 2200. I disconnected the autopilot myself there because it was continuing to descend us below 2,200 feet. Our pattern altitude is 1,600 around here, but I'm just gonna climb us back up to 2,200 for Tuffy, as briefed. Alright, LSSR, we're getting the identifier on the localizer. That all matches up. We got a pretty stiff crosswind right to left, 26 knots right now, and we are cleared to land on runway 18 right. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll floor our bug back to our ref of 135. And we'll turn on the and flaps 40. Well, this was fun, I must say. Let's go make sure we get our airspeed stabilized and go ahead and arm our speed brakes. Turn off this really quickly. Oh man, we got like a 24 knot crosswind up here. That's pretty incredible. Let me get this to boop, boop, medium, turn it on. There we go. And glide slope is alive. Let me get our ignition on really quickly. There we go. And we're about to intercept the glide slope. We're landing check, landing gear is down, 3 green, ignition B set. Spoilers ABS armed and medium. Flaps and slats are 40-40 set. We're landing check complete and we're on glide slope. Perfect. Alright, here we go. I'm coming up manually on the thrust levers, all throttles are off. There we go, and we are going down the chute. Clear to land 18 right. Well, this was an unplanned diversion, but hey, that's what happens sometimes, especially when you're flying old aircraft. Oh man. And I'll have some paperwork to do once we're on the ground too, so. A little bit of an exciting occurrence. About a dot half a dot high, so correcting.
1,000.
Speed 135, sync 900. Yeah, my frame rates are going down. Apologize for that. I maybe need to. Sean, I tried to adjust some of my settings. I tried to go to 1080p, but it was like, it does not work well on this monitor. So, I'm just gonna have to figure out some other settings.
500.
And honestly, certain updates to the sim are smoother than others. Cause there'll be one update, no problem, no stutters on landing. The next update, a lot of stutters. So.
Minimums.
Visual. Alright, we're down. Parking will be extended here. Thank you, Sean. Kick off those auto brakes here. Let me pull up the. Should work for us here. Let's see. We'll take the second right coming up.
Riptide 5801, say parking.
Riptide 5801 will be parking at Signature, so it'll be a right turn off.
Riptide 5801, right turn enabled, taxi ramp via Alpha.
Right Echo, taxi ramp via Alpha, Riptide 5801, thanks for your help.
Yeah.
Alright, excellent job by Jack Center. So, we are on the grounds. And, well, it's been a tumultuous season for Inter Miami. A lot of ups and downs, and they had the same today on their flight with Coastal. So, thanks, Jason. Thanks, guys. Alright, so thanks for getting everything arranged at the parking. So, they should be ready for us at Signature. I'll head over that way. Actually, don't know that I had that one set up on GSX, but I know it's all the way down here on the south. Sean, I've got to buy that new Orlando scenery that you sent the link to, so I think it'll actually have Signature written on the building, which would be nice. So I know it's down here to the south, so we'll head down this way and get our lights and everything set up. Oh, that auto throttle thing's flashing. Turn some of these things off, get the APU started. Yeah, I believe it's all the way down here on the south end of the ramp, if I remember correctly. Right, Sean? I think it's one of those buildings over there is Signature. Alright. Sean, you said this has been an exciting stream. Yeah, I was not planning on this. I was thinking, oh, it's just gonna be your, you know, your typical late night kind of. Let's try to stay awake. Trip up to Charlotte, but no, it was not. And you can see Darth Vader was along for the ride, and it was definitely a ride with a lot of aircraft shenanigans. So.
What are you there?
Hey Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, did you check your outflow valve, make sure it's open?
Thanks for checking. Yeah, let me check here in just a second.
That would be bad.
That'd be
It
bad.
should have opened automatically.
Yeah, but yeah, we do. I mean, my cabin altitude's showing 0. I can see out of the corner of my eye, but yeah, let me check before we. I'm just gonna pull it up here. I don't think I have GSX set up for this spot. I believe this is signature. I'm pretty sure this has got to be signature. Marked as FBO on the. Yeah, let me pull it up on the map here. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, we're gonna stop right here, and tell the flight attendants, hey, don't open the door yet. Do not open the door. I repeat, do not open the door. Okay, let's see. Thankfully, differential pressure is at 0. That's good. Cabin altitude though is it's pretty close. Well, let's see. We can just manually. Looks like it. Yeah, it's full open on the indicator here, so looks good. All right, we should have the APU running. Let me. I don't know why my camera's doing that. Go ahead and shut off everything.
782 Houston Center's offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good night.
All right, shutting them down.
So.
All right, we're on the grounds for a bit, and it sounds like we're gonna be doing an airplane swap. Sean, I don't know if you want to hop into the chat and we can just come up with a plan. If not, that's fine too. I know it's late.
1436. I'm gonna close up. Air service terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good night.
Going through. Let's see what else we need to do. I'll go ahead and turn off the seatbelt sign now.
Now close. Frequency change approved.
Night.
So.
Let's open up the cockpit door. And let's see if GSX recognizes. Request deboarding. Yeah, there we go. Yes. Uh-oh, it moved me. Oh well. Sean said, nice job handling it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was fun, guys. And those of you that watch later, you'll see, yeah, we didn't make it up to Charlotte tonight. I mean, I technically could continue, but I need to write up all this stuff. I think in real time, I'll plan to just do it on Sunday night. I might try to stream it again, and I'll let you guys determine which aircraft we want to take. But I'll need to write it up, obviously. So I'm going to put it in the aircraft technical log. We had a cabin altitude decompression.
Passenger's bus is coming.
That's what we had, so I'm going to add that. And whenever you tell me it's repaired or checked or whatever, I'll fix that. So don't really know what caused it exactly, because went through the checklist, it was still in the automatic position as far as I could tell, but the outflow valve just lost control of the cabin, and yeah, so I mean, maybe it was, I think I saw the other possible malfunction was auto pressure control, but we didn't have any indications that there were 0 indications on there of any problem with the automatic pressure control. So I think it was either just a sim-ism anomaly that happens. Maybe I inadvertently had hit one of these switches down here, but I'll have to go watch the video to see what happened. But I certainly appreciate y'all being on board today. That was an exciting flight. Unplanned. That's part of the fun of what we do here at Coastal, though, is you know, we have full realism settings on, and failures on the aircraft we fly, and you're trained to deal with emergencies and diversions like that. So you got to see a little bit of that. It's always going to be unplanned. It's always going to be inconvenient. You know, you want to keep going to the destination, but in reality, like Jason and I were talking about, I mean, you legally cannot, if the oxygen masks have deployed, climb back up to altitude, and then, so what's to say whatever the problem was doesn't happen again, and then now you've used up a lot of the capabilities of the passenger oxygen masks, so they don't have that protection that they need for their livelihood and health. So, yep, that was the ultimate reason why we diverted here, is the oxygen masks are deployed. So I'm going to write that up also. And you can see that annunciator is clearly up there now on the annunciator panel. Cabin oxygen on. So I don't know if we need to, I don't know if we have to report that at all, but I'll just look through. You can see they have all sorts of malfunctions and failures that you can, yeah. All right, good job. We got an 83 diverted to there from the weather. Not a bad plan. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, so I'm guessing the plan is just going to be we hop over to the 83 and just continue on up to Charlotte from Orlando. So, Sean, I think what I'll do is I'll probably fly it in real time on Sunday night. That'll give you time to set up the paperwork, set up the system on the back end for the ACARs. If that sounds fine with you, I think that's what we'll do. Well, let me run through the parking check really quickly. Had all that excitement. And all right, parking brake is on, flaps and slats up, lights out, fuel levers off, hydraulics, we still have them on for now. We can shut them off now because we got the flaps all retracted. And air stairs should be down too. Beacon, get that off now. ACARs will ding you if you turn it off too early. Oil and hydraulic quantity are checked. Parking check complete. Well, thanks for just file this flight as well. That's what you're asking, Jason. Are you asking me or Sean, or yeah, do y'all want me to go ahead and submit the ACARs? I guess it. Jason, you've done I don't think I've ever actually had to divert using the ACARs. Don't forget to file the flight in ACARs. So I should be able to just file it normally, right? Just hit the, I'll do it right now, in flight, see what happens. So here we go. All right, I heard the ding. It sounds like the ACARs worked correctly, so cool. Well, that's going to be all for tonight. That's about the amount of time we had allotted for this stream. So obviously we are not in Charlotte. We are in Orlando, but you know, I think that's one of the reasons why these sports teams generally will travel a day or two early to their city they're going to be playing in, just in case something like this happens. And it does happen. You'll see the news stories. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers were on a Delta charter that had to divert due to some pretty serious issues earlier in the NFL season. So this stuff does happen, and it's just a nature of flying in very complex aircraft. So cool. Jason said you'll approve the diversion on the back end. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. We'll go ahead. We will hop outside the aircraft here in just a minute, and we'll close out with some music. You get to see a walk around. We'll go check out, see what's going on with that outflow valve, and it should be full open at the moment. And be back probably Sunday night, so stay tuned. I'll try to put up the time on YouTube channel VREF Simmer, and it'll likely be around 11 p.m. Central Time. Sunday we'll continue up to Charlotte. So good night, Marco Girardi. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jason, for all the help. And for now, VREF Simmer signing off. See you in the skies again soon. You can